Good morning, beautiful. How are you today? It's Coach Tish. I am back, and I hope you had a beautiful, productive, peaceful week. You know, we have to remember every day comes with its challenges, whether they're small hurdles, large obstacles, but we cannot allow ourselves to get stuck. Um, we have to look at things for what they are in that moment. So today we're going to embark on a topic that, for lack of better words, will keep you in bondage, will hold you back, will add additional stumbling blocks if you allow it. If you allow it. And that topic will be the wrong people. And I know you're probably thinking, what do you mean by the wrong people? You have to be willing and able to understand everybody that starts with you will not end with you. Just because people hold, a certain title don't mean that they are meant to go where you are going. And being adult enough, present enough, willing enough to walk away, allow God to remove and add at His liking and His choosing. Everybody has a time and a season to be connected to you. And what people don't understand, what you may not understand, is the why. Why is this person who I love and adore having such a hard time, giving me such an attitude, pushing back against everything I say, being difficult, whatever we want to look at it as, because we just need to know that that season is over. People talk about seasons and try to definitely define what a season is. And I've come to a point in my journey, a season could be as short as a few hours. It could be as long as 18, 20 years. But I do not set my seasons. I allow God to set my seasons because I feel like everything is divine. It is for a reason, it is for a purpose. And the more you mature, and I'm going to talk about maturity later because a lot of the times people want to say that, oh, I'm mature, and not necessarily understand maturity has nothing to do with chronological age. It's a lot of growing, healing, and strength, and becoming all that you're meant to become. So mature, you might be immature, very mature in one area and very immature in another area. And it's when all those things come together that you start using wisdom to get people, the wrong people, or what you perceive as the right people, put them in their proper place. Put everybody in perspective of what is going on right now. What is your assignment right now? And in this season, who fits and who doesn't, and allow those people to be removed. Because sometimes people are lifetime people, but for a season, they're not meant to be there. And it's not a bad thing. It's not necessarily, oh, I don't want them feeling like this and I don't want that person feeling like that. No, it has nothing to do with feelings. When you are becoming all that you are supposed to be, which you evolve into, you shed some things. You are stretched in some areas. Your language is changing. Your perspective is changing. Your heart is changing because you are growing. And in that growth, some people can become a hindrance. Some people can become a stumbling block. And a lot of the times, it's because of your personal perspective of who and what that person is. For example, a family member. We tend to allow family to be in a place that they're not necessarily meant to be. We don't look at it for the perspective of them fulfilling their purpose. And that could be your parents, that could be your siblings, this could be your grandparents, this could be cousins, this could be your spouse, this could be your children. When we allow people that have certain labels in our lives to dictate, manipulate, and control us, now they have become a hindrance and a stumbling block to where you are going. And we as people are not meant to live this life alone. But we have to learn how to trust the process that God adds an increase and will provide everything that you need in every season to get to where you're going and to shape you and mold you in your becoming. We call it what it is. Call it what you want to call it. Call it what you want to call it. But if you truly want to fulfill who you are becoming, you have to sit down and truly analyze people, places, and things. Now, I will never tell anybody to throw anybody away because that's just not who I am. But you have to be willing to remove the veil and meet people where they are and at their capacity of who they are. And not put on people your expectations of them or how you feel they should fulfill something or how close they should be, because that's when you set yourself up for failure. That's how you set yourself up to continue to be held in bondage, held in generational curses, held in cycles, held accountable to other people's perceptions, because you haven't really done the work for yourself. You haven't done the work for yourself. I know this because for too many years, I always looked at, well, they're this or they're that, and they should do, and they should be. But everybody is not capable of your shoulds. And when you realize these people that you are trying to hold accountable for where they are and who they should be may not necessarily have the tools to uphold what you're holding them accountable for. So if you take the light off of them and put the light on yourself, you can become all that you want to see. And when you take the light off of those people, God will organically, divinely orchestrate meetings for people to fill those places. I have raised my children in a household where they understand blood does not make you family. Relationships are what makes you family. How I look at my relationship with a person determines what they are in my life. I will always honor. Hear me, hear my heart. I will honor any and everybody for the title they hold. But that might be where I leave you. That might be just where I leave you. Because if you're bringing chaos, if you're bringing strife, if you're bringing discord, if you're bringing confusion, if you're trying to hold me to what I used to be, you are not meant to go to where I'm going. I speak life in everybody I interact with. I encourage them to heal and grow and become better. Do better today than you did yesterday. I'm going to stretch you if I see something in you. You say you want something, you want to become something, I'm going to hold you accountable for that. Why? Because we win. We win, y'all. I want it to be as easy as possible because there's things outside of me that I cannot control. I can't control other people's actions. I can't control other people's mindsets. I can't control other people's words. But what I can do, and I always focus on, is me. How do I want to show up? How do I want people to receive me? And because I believe in the agape love of God, I live by that to the core. I'm going to love on you the way you ain't never been loved. And sometimes that means loving on you from a distance. Because if you cause me to be out of character, then that causes me to take a step back. Now, I'm not willing to do that. I protect my peace at all costs. I do not give people permission to dictate how I show up in the world. And what I'm talking about, when you release somebody, when you remove those people who are stumbling blocks out of your life, yes, it's going to be hard. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend and act like it does not hurt having certain people in my life when I give thought to it. Because I want the same thing out of life that everybody else does. And that's to be happy. That's to have family. That's to have community. That's to have somebody to share life with. That's to explore. That's to celebrate. But sometimes when there is trauma, there is abuse, there is addiction, it's not always the healthy thing to do to have certain people in your life. And as you are deciding what you want your life to look like, you got to be willing and able to take action on what you want. If you say, I'm tired of arguing, but you go around these same 10 people who every time you're in their presence, you end up arguing, do you truly want to stop arguing? When you say, I'm tired of dealing with this type of person, are you sitting down and spending the time to decide and understand why you keep attracting these type of people? Why your circle is built up of people who causes confusion, who always got to bicker, who's always fighting, who don't never know. If this is what your circle's built out of, is this who you are? I'm here to call a spade a spade. If I always got to argue with you, then somebody has to be the adult here. And I choose happiness, y'all. I choose my peace. I choose love. But just because I've forgiven you, don't mean you have to be with me. I can honor you for I can't change the family I was born in. I can't change how I grew up. I can't undo anything that has happened to me. But what I do understand, everything happened for me. My perspective of what happened to me shifted many, many years ago. Many, many years ago. What can I control? What can I do to live in a place of peace, to live in a place of harmony, to live in a place of love, to live in a place of kindness, to live in a place of forgiveness? What do I need to do? And no matter how hard it is, I'm going to do it. And sometimes you got to sit with yourself and remind yourself why you made the choice you made. We have free will. We can change anything at any time. We can do it different. As long as you have breath in your body, you have the opportunity to change your situation. You're the one who has to make that decision. You're the one who has to say, as much as I love you, I understand that you bring anxiety. I understand that you are a trigger. I understand that you keep me held in bondage to my past. I understand you mean me no good. And they may not be doing it intentionally. Remember, hurt people hurt people. Broken people want to be sitting with broken people. People of strife want to be with people of strife. People of confusion want to be with people of confusion. Because it's easy. It's not easy being different, but it's okay. It's okay. Because when you stand in and on your truth and you allow those people to fall by the wayside, you will have so much inner peace. You will have so much joy. You will be laughing for no reason because you're not bottled up. You're not tense. You're not looking over your shoulder for the next shoe to drop. You're not worried about, oh, what's going to come out of their mouth? Oh, how are they going to... You're not worried about those things. So it allows you to move through life and take those blows with a grain of salt, because this too shall pass. And that's not, has no bearing on who I'm becoming. Take your power back. Stand in and on your truth. Remove those stumbling blocks, people, places, things that are hindering you, that are keeping you captive. And when people think about keeping captive, no, you ain't tied up in a room. But if your mind is here, if your attention is here, if you are drawn to this, then you are not moving forward. So, what are you choosing today? What are you choosing today? And feel free to reach out to me. On all social media platforms. The name of my website is powerpassionpurpose.org. I'm on anything that you Google, you'll pretty much find me. Inbox me. Email me. I will always be willing to sit down and have a conversation. I'm always there to give you some tips and tools that work for me over the years. I'm always celebrating everybody's wins. Everybody's wins. Because whether you want to or not, you're changing. Now, are you changing for the better or are you changing for the worse? Time stops for no one. I want everything that is due to me. I want to live the life to the full. And the only way for me to do that is to remove those stumbling blocks so I can continue to walk in my purpose. And I am here to help as many of y'all that want to be helped. I'm not here to force nobody. I'm not trying to be your baby Jesus, but I'm always going to point you to God. I'm always going to point you to the right thing. I'm always going to pour love into you. I'm always going to handle you with compassion. I'm always going to give you the truth. And sometimes the truth bites. But I'm never coming from a place of condemnation. I'm never coming from a place of judgment. I'm always coming from a place of let's work this thing out. Let's figure this thing out, whatever this thing is, and however we got to do it, for however long it takes. For however long it takes, because as long as there's breath in my body, I'm going to be working on something. I am a work in progress. Thank God I don't look like what I've been through. And I thank and I praise Him every day for every trial and every tribulation that He helped me get through, because I couldn't have became the mom that I am. I could not have become the woman that I am. I could not be the friend that I am. I could not be who I am today had I not healed and gone through the process of allowing Him to remove people who did not mean me well. What man means for evil, God will use for good. I do not hold nobody in bondage or captive to what they did or did not do, or who they are not in my life. What I learned how to do over the years is the same thing God does for each and every one of us, and that's meet people for where they are. And when I'm struggling in a friendship or relationship or a family member, I go to God. What is the issue? When I see somebody doing wrong or not adding up to what I think they should be doing, what happened in their life? What's keeping them in bondage? What is their pain point? And when we can see that everybody is work in progress like we are, it's easy. It's easy, y'all. Trust me and believe me, it is easy. I never closed the door to reconciliation. Hear me. Hear my heart. I don't. Because none of us is beyond reach. And just maybe, by you being that one person in your circle to stand up and stop the cycle, to stand up and to be better. You don't know who you have along the line who's looking up to you for their strength to make it the next day. And I don't say that to put pressure on anyone. I say that because someone, whether it's a child, a friend, an associate, a coworker, someone is looking at you like, how are they still standing? They know your story. They know your history. They know your family. And they're like, how are they doing this? And you don't know how you are encouraging and empowering the next person to make it through, to get over, to keep striving, to stand up and say, if they can do it, I can do it too. I love each and every last one of you guys, whether I know you personally or we are just connected spiritually. I do. I do. I love you guys. And we win. Until the next time, have a marvelous, blessed, peaceful, loving week. I'm out, y'all.